Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow duelists. Vampire YGO coming back to you with another line of deck profiles that I will be showcasing for the rest of this month and the next. I've got a good amount, I think probably around like 10 different profiles. But as you can see, this one is a TRI-BRIGADE profile. I have one of three coming that I'm going to be posting all three at the same time tonight. The TRI-BRIGADE profile I've been testing a lot with over the last month and a half. And obviously knowing that the support was going to be coming out with Kit and the new Link monster sometime soon, obviously the Kit coming out in Blazing Vortex, I kind of wasn't as interested in playing the deck versus just getting the core and just letting it sit till the support came out. But I was inspired when I saw on Asian Persuasion's YouTube channel, he had a deck profile of one of the guys on his channel at his locals who won the locals 2 out of 3 weeks with a TRI-BRIGADE Zoodiac Dogmatica profile. And it kind of really inspired me to just kind of at least pick up the deck and kind of piece together, maybe get a little practice with it before the support comes out and kind of see what it can do. And it was kind of cool just to see how he explained mixing all of the archetypes. And I did a lot of testing with it at first with the Zoodiac TRI-BRIGADE Dogmatica version, and then kind of went more towards just the pure / barrier statue, and then thought, why not at least try the Infinite Negate? So I've tried all three profiles, and I will be showcasing all three that kind of gear each way. This one is going to be the Infinite Negate combo version, and I think this one, in my opinion, out of all three, I tested a good amount of times, and I've also been doing some remote duels, mostly the ones from California, I'd say, because by the time I get off, most remote duel tournaments for a lot of the other ones that are open, unless except for the weekend, are already going by the time I get off of work here in the West Coast. So, but it's cool. I hope everyone else has been trying out the remote duels. I've gotten a good amount of OTS packs from some of them as well, and I've actually pulled an Ulti Toon Kingdom and an Ulti Dweller out of some of the little bit that I've gotten. Nothing too crazy, but I would say, you know, it's definitely worth it, and remote duels is the closest thing we can get, because here where I'm at, we do not have our locals open yet, and they have not been open during this whole time. And I know there's places, cities, and states that have had locals pretty much the whole time that the COVID has been going on, essentially. But yeah, so let's get right into it. This is again the Infinite Negate combo, and I will basically discuss all three, so stick around to see the other two profiles as well. So first, as you can see, we have two of the TRI-BRIGADE Nervals. All three of the TRI-BRIGADE all of the TRI-BRIGADE monsters have 3 effects, at least when it comes to the main deck monsters. There are Beast, Wing Beast, and Beast Warrior, and they all have kind of that, you know, Beast type variant that they all work with. So that's obviously why they work really well with the. I've also tested the Lyrilisk as well, and I do like it a lot too. It's extremely consistent, but I think the Infinite Negate combo is just a little bit more fun, and if I'm not mistaken, I haven't really seen one version of that one, but I'm pretty sure that variant could also make the Infinite Negate pretty simple as well, but I have not tapped into at least that part yet. But for, like I said, all the monsters have the 3 different effects. Basically, the first effect being that when they're on the field, you can banish any number of Beast, Wing Beast, Beast monsters, or Beast Warrior monsters from your graveyard to special summon a Link monster of that rating that is a Beast, Wing Beast, or Beast Warrior monster. So if you banish 2, you can special summon a Link 2, obviously 3, 4, whatever, and that's how you get out the TRI-BRIGADE monsters or other monsters, obviously, like the Samorg Link. And then the secondary effect is that you can only use the Beast type variants for Link summons for the rest of the turn. And then the third effect is always another side effect as well that's basically unique to themselves. So the first 2 are always the same on all of them, the banishing effect plus the Link effect, but the third effect is always their own. So Nervals is your Foolish Burial. When he's sent to the graveyard, you can, or sorry, he's not your Foolish Burial, he is your add to hand. When he's sent to the graveyard, you get to add a TRI-BRIGADE Beast, Wing Beast, or Beast Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. And then obviously you just choose from whatever ones you want. You're usually going to want to go Kuras to add to hand there. But yeah, I put 2 just in case, because I've tried a lot with 1, and you'll see in my other profiles I do run 1. This one I do run 2, just because you want to see it more in your, you can see it more in your open hand, and just in case it gets banished as well or negated, you can have the other one. This one kind of has a little bit more room for that. So I like the 2. And then we have One of the things that I kind of noticed when playing the deck is that you really want to kind of stack up with the monsters, because you really want to see both engines in your hand when it comes to the Zoodiac and the TRI-BRIGADE for the full combo. And even on what I've noticed, which I really like about this deck, is it can play through a fair amount of hand traps, but at the same time, even with a decent hand, not even a perfect or a really great hand, this deck can still make the infinite negate combo, or at least if a poor one can land on something like a Zeus or something like that, if need be, or a protected Dryden or something like that, or even some of the Mist Valley stuff. It has multiple ways that it can go if something goes wrong. But you have TRI-BRIGADE Cuirass. I like running 3 of the Cuirass. He's got a really good effect. This one again has the first 2 effects essentially, except for his option is to get him on board. You can you can discard one other beast, wing beast, or beast warrior monster from your hand, so that helps to get ones that are dead hands, like dead Zoodiac cards, or even the Nerval, to get it to the grave. When this one's sent to the grave, like I said, you can basically add it. So this one's effect is, his unique effect is that you can discard one of those beast variant types to special summon him to the board. And then, yeah, obviously that's when you would get his effect off. So he's usually the one you're gonna go for to get on field to get the effect to banish the monsters from the grave. And then he's level 2, Nerval's level 1, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kit is 3, and then Fractal is 4. So they kind of have one of each level, that's pretty cool. You have a 19 beater, which is Fractal, the Ultra. This one's kind of the starter of the engine. This is the one you really want to see in your opening hand from the very get. It helps you load monsters into the graveyard, because one of your main goals is getting a good amount of the monsters into the grave. So you'll have Fractal, again, has the other 2 effects with the link and the being able to banish from it. So even in worst case scenario, sometimes you can just normal summon this in a case as well and use the effect if you get, have already used it and have one in the graveyard. But this one loads the grave. So this one is, you discard this card, you send another TRI-BRIGADE monster to your graveyard, which you send Nerval. Nerval hits the grave, and then you add Cuirass. And that would be basically the open. And then right off the bat there, you have 2 beast monsters or beast variant type monsters in the grave already at that time. And then, especially once you go off of the Zoodiac combo, you have like anywhere from like 7 to 10 in there, depending on what you're doing after you do the combo there, and do some linking away as well. And then, so it's actually really easy to get things going. And then obviously cards like Foolish Burial. But yeah, this card is awesome. And I think the artwork is awesome. I really like the whole theme of the lore for the Dogmatica TRI-BRIGADE, and now coming to see the Spring Ends cards. It should be cool to see how they kind of have, or what artworks kind of link with that one. But you're gonna have the Zoodiac engine now, obviously pretty standard. 1 rat, really hoping that to kind of like boost, how Konami is sometimes, boost a little bit of the sales. I hope that they do release some sort of help for Zoodiac, because at one point they did have Barrage back at 3 without the Dryden, and then once Dryden came out, they put the Barrage back to 1. I hope they put Barrage back to another number like 2 or 3, but I think they won't, because it's the searchability. So I hope that they put at least Rat to 2, or bring us back the main thing we really want to see, Broad Bull. I'm fine with Dryden at 1, but I would really like to see Rat and Broad Bull come back, if not one of those 2 variants. And then obviously with the new TRI-BRIGADE support, this deck would definitely step up. So everyone knows what the Rat does, it sends to the grave, and then your Ram is going to be one of your most important to get the Zoodiac combo off, if you've seen before. If not, I can also showcase this the combo in a different video as well. But you pretty much start off your combo with, you always want to start with the Zoodiac, get it going, and then you get your Baron Blossom on the board, and then that's when you start your TRI-BRIGADE. Unless you can always use the Fractal as hand trap bait as well, because it's not the biggest deal if it gets negated sometimes. But you have Thoroughblade, obviously 3, and then his draw effect and the getting another beast by being able to discard one into the grave is awesome. So it definitely helps. And then 1, 2, and 3 Whiptail. The banishing effect works really well, obviously against decks that it kind of hurts for cards that need to be recurred from grave, like a Golden Lord or something like that. The added banish effect is really awesome with Whiptail. But This is kind of like your least favorite one, obviously. This is the one if you want to interchange things in the deck. I would always take maybe like 1 Whiptail out and go to 2. Would be like something you can kind of change. If I had a second Forbidden Droplet, I would take out a Whiptail and put one of those in there instead. But you kind of want to see, like I said, as many Zoodiac cards as possible, or basically to get things going there. And then you have the miscellaneous monsters. Man, I really like the dual terminal. Looks crazy on the camera. Like just like the patterns in general, the way it kind of captures the holo is really trippy. But yeah, you want 1 of each. You're gonna have the Union Carrier combo to get the Miss Sally Thunderbird, and then you have the Apex Avion, obviously, to just keep popping its effect to just send to hand, send back to field, activate effect, pop, or not pop, return back to hand, send back to field. And if you want to avoid like Lightning Storm and stuff as well, I guess it doesn't really matter because this one negates the Lightning Storm. But pretty much the main problem that you're gonna see against the Infinite Negate is going to be Droplet or Dark Ruler no more. That's going to be pretty much your biggest fear. So if they don't open one of those 2, you have game for sure when it comes to having the Infinite Negate on board. It's awesome. And then for the hand trap lineup, and I feel like Crow works really well in this deck because it is also a winged beast. So it is a card that can be added to hand / discarded if need be as well. And then I just really like this, and I have 3 Cyclones in here for the banish. This deck does really well against the Eldritch variants that I've come across, and even the Dogmaticas. The DD Crow, yeah, with 3 Cyclones is nasty, the 6 banishes, but like I said, it also can work out really well with adding another Winged Beast or Beast variant to the grave / discard fodder as well, and can be searched. And then we have the 3 Ash. I mean, yeah, it's Ash. The only other thing maybe that you would want to switch out if you want to like side things like the Crow would be like Draw and Lock, or side between, you know, the Ash and Draw and Lock, but I mean, it's obviously Ash. And that would be it for the monster lineup. And we're going to go into the spells. There are no traps in this variant as well, even though it is going first. It is pretty much just get the Infinite Negate on board and kind of just make a little extra with it as well. And then this deck in general gets Access Code Talker out, is like going second and whatnot, like it's nobody's business. And you have 3 Tenki. This is the Speed Duel Battle City box secret rare. It actually looks really nice in person. It looks great. I really like the secret rare that they did for that whole set. Yeah, I think it's actually worth getting some and definitely holding. But yeah, all the cards look great. And then so definitely 3 Tenki, obviously unexplainable when it comes to what that card does. And then you have the 1 Barrage. This card helps get you the other thing. You can also use this, it helps you get a Dweller play if you want to go into Dweller. But I mean, obviously Barrage is amazing. And then you have the 2 in all 3 profiles. I stick with this at 2. I saw it way too much at 3. There was way too many times. It was a remote duel I did out of 5 rounds, and out of like 8 starting hands that I had gotten, I had seen double of this in that amount of hands, so which was more than half, and that's just ridiculous. So I cut it to 2, and I still see it a fair amount as well. This card is awesome, being the quick play, but this one does lock you into only being able to link summon for the rest of the turn. But this one allows you to special summon a beast, wing beast, or beast warrior monster from your deck, but its effects are negated and it goes back to the hand at the end of the turn. And what do you want to call it? It's going to be the opposite of what you target. So you target one on field. So say you have a beast warrior on field, you target it, you can special summon a beast or a wing beast. If you have a beast on board, you can special summon a beast warrior or wing beast, essentially. So it's kind of one of the 2 opposite options of the one that you're targeting on the board. So you do have to have that monster. But yeah, it's a good card to just play off at the end. You can also special summon things like the Miss Valley Thunderbird, or not Thunderbird, but the Apex Avion as well from this thing. Or again, like the Barrier Statue, if I ran that one, but I do not run the Barrier Statue in this build. 2 Tactics, this card has just done so much for me over time. Even at 2, I see it a lot, and it's great for going second, and this deck has just altered games just by itself so many times for me. So I feel like it's just a necessary, and I would say like 75% of the decks, if they could run it, should run this, or at least run it in the side. But I really like tactics for any deck that is, you know, has the possibility of wanting to go second or having an advantage. If I had the second droplet, I would put it in, like I said, I'd take out a Whiptail or, I don't know, maybe a Cyclone, but I want to keep the Cyclone. So I'd probably take out a Whiptail for a second droplet if I had one. I'm still going to try to trade for one, but not in a rush yet. The one called by the grave, again, going first is really key. And then this one obviously helps in so many things going on right now. So many people are maining the droplet. It is definitely worth it. And then you have the 1 Foolish, and then the 3 Cyclone. And these would be the last of the spells and the last of the deck. And then, yeah, obviously send, most of the time, if you don't get the combo off, depending on what you have, you want to send the Nurgle, so you can get the Nurgle effect to add the hand. And then we would be going to the extra. The crazy thing about this deck is it has so many crazy boss monsters in the extra deck alone, with options that it can go to. So, and I know a lot of variants, a lot of people still run the 3, but I like the 2 Shotgun 9 is still pretty grindy, and it's not, you know, necessary to run at 3 in this build, I feel like, and I've not had any issue whatsoever having just 2. So 2 of the Shotgun 9, your special summon from the grave, the 1 Trident. So, you know, first boss monster, essentially. This one, everyone else it does, the pop effect, but this one you're going to use as usually link material unless you get a Whiptail, and you can put the Whiptail to it, or you can choose to use it to link it off. And then you have, same kind of with the Thoroughblade. 2 is perfect with this, have not needed more. The extra deck's pretty tight. 1 Barbo, 1's perfectly fine. Obviously for your Zeus play. And then that would be it for the Zoodiac package. I run the 1 Dweller. This one is the ulti. I pulled this actually from one of the OTS packs. Looks awesome. And yeah, I mean, it's Dweller. It works really well against Drytron, Virtual World, and even I know a lot of people are playing Shaddoll's right now, and it also helps a lot against like some other rogue decks like Unchained, Eldritch, things like that as well. So Abyss Dweller is definitely kind of creeping back in. And then the 1 Zeus. This card is just insane again, and this card is also just like a card, once you get it on board, it's really easy to control, especially with the stackability of the Zoodiac cards. You can just make a huge stack and then put a Zeus over it, and then you just have multiple, detaches that you can do to get his effect going. And then obviously his effect of things getting destroyed and attaching to him. But yeah, Zeus is a must. And then, so again, there you go, is another boss. You have Trident plus the Zeus. You have the TRI-BRIGADE monsters. You're gonna run the 1 Baron Blossom Farragut, the Silver Sheller, and then you have the Ominous Omen Shureg. They're all really good cards. You have the Baron Blossom, which you have the option to basically special summon a level 4 or lower beast variant type monster from your hand. Once, doesn't have to be right on her summon, it can be any point after that. And then, so you usually want to choose like the Kuras or one of your other TRI-BRIGADE monsters to get it on board. So that way you can use its effect to basically do the special summon from the grave, which you're usually going to go with the Samorg, and then do a link away with the Baron Blossom and the other TRI-BRIGADE, or like I said, or unless you want to use the Trident, to make the Union Carrier, equip the Samorg with the Thunderbird, and then make sure you have everything else if you need to set anything, and then end phase, and then attack, and then special summon the Apex Avion, and then there you go. You have Infinite Negate. And then you have her other effect is when she's sent to the graveyard, you can draw a card and then put 1 at the bottom of your deck. So that's pretty cool, and that's what's also handy with maybe getting something else, like swapping, like if you want to get to a hand trap or something like that, or Cosmic Cyclone, something to set, or like the TRI-BRIGADE Air Assault. And then you have Silver Sheller. He's pretty crazy. He's during your opponent's phase, your main phase, you can quick effect and you get to special summon a level 4 or lower beast variant type monster from your graveyard, and then during the end phase send it back to the hand. So yeah, I was mistaken when I said earlier with the Airborne Assault. The Airborne Assault one does not go back to the hand, but the Silver Shellers is the one that goes back to your hand. But this one is how, like, if you play the Barrier Statue, he works really well, because if the Barrier Statue gets destroyed or kaiju'd or something like that, you basically just activate his effect right after, and just re-special summon the Barrier Statue, and then they're basically looking at you like, what the heck? And Let's see what else. I forgot what his other effect is when I was taking. You summon him very seldomly, and then it says you can make all monsters your opponent currently controls lose 300 attack there. So when he's sent to the graveyard. And then you have Shrig, which is freaking amazing. When he hits the board, it's a non-targeting effect, and you get to banish a card on the field. So just a card on the field, banish, non-targeting. That's freaking amazing. And or if another beast variant type monster is special summoned while he's on the field, you can basically do the same thing. You get to banish a card on the field. And then also, let's see, when he's sent to the graveyard, you can also add one beast variant type monster from your deck to your hand whose level is equal to or less than the number of banished beast variant type monsters that you have. And then you can only use each effect once per turn essentially for each of these. But yeah, 3k attack, 23, 16. She's going to be important for your first link for your combo. So you're instead of basically going into like how you go the Mega Clops where you get all 3 Zoodiac monsters on board. So you'll have 3 Exceeds. You'll have usually, I think, the Tiger Mortar, the Shotgun Nine, and the Trident. You're going to basically use the other 2 that are not the Trident to get the Baron Blossom. Baron Blossom special summons TRI-BRIGADE from your hand. TRI-BRIGADE banishes from grave, gets some Morgue, and then again, so forth. But yeah, these are the 3 you need. You only need 1 of each, and you can go without. The Sheller is one you can actually go without in this variant, but I just like it in there just in case because it's good for more grind. And then you have the Union Carrier and the Samorg, obviously just to get for the negates. And this one, because it's a Beast Warrior or Wing Beast, you can get it out with the effect of the TRI-BRIGADE monsters. And then you have Mega Clops and the Access Code Talker. Extremely easy to make, happens all the time. And then you have your Mega Clops. Does not happen as often as it kind of did before, but it can come up and it can be a problem for certain decks to out. So it's definitely good to have. It does come up and it's just a ridiculous card in general. And then like getting like a Zeus back or something with this thing from the grave is ridiculous. And then yeah, obviously Access Code Talker explains itself there. But yeah, for boss wise, like I was kind of explaining, you've got all 5 of these monsters essentially here that, you know, are in the deck, and they all do a lot. It's a pretty good package, and yeah, stick around for the other one. Let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate your time and the feedback on all the other profiles. But yeah, give me a thumbs up if you like it. If not, if you thumbs down, please let me know why. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, or if you have any suggestions. Appreciate it. Have a good night.